And
well, welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Kurt Visnick. I'm a chiropractor up in Fargo, North Dakota, and it's been some beautiful weather that we've had these past couple of days, and so I'm really kind of excited about that. I've been retired from the chiropractic industry now for a little over 10 years, not really by choice. I was involved in a horrible motorcycle accident, and I'm sure most of you have heard my story on what happened to me and how I got injured, but it launched me into really the industry that we're in right now, the network marketing industry, and so I've learned how to work within this industry, and I've learned how to really make it work here, and I love it. I love it, and I think that as far as industries, I think this one is one that really it's industry that gives everybody an equal chance. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have a lot of money to get started, and you don't have to have a lot of money to stay in it. And really what I like about SISEL is that with the new comp plan, and you're going to hear me talk about this quite a lot, that the new comp plan, I just really enjoy it. And so that's one of the things that I want to talk about tonight, is how I'm going to help all of you learn the comp plan inside and out. And so I'm heading to Australia here in less than 2 weeks now, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be down there for almost 3 weeks, and we've got a lot of meetings planned. We've got a lot of people to see. I'm trying to get across the country and see as many people as I can. I know I was talking to my friend Dennis the other day, and he said, Kurt, he said, it's kind of like you're flying into a country that's bigger than the United States, and just imagine you're flying into the South Central, and then you're flying to the West Coast, then you're flying to the East Coast, and then you're touring the entire East Coast, and then flying back to the Central area. And so that's really what we put together, and I really want to thank everybody down in Australia for putting up with me. I don't know a thing about your country as far as like how it's all set up, except that all I know is there's nothing in the middle, and everything is built around the outside edges. That's all I really know. So I know there's a place there called the Great Barrier Reef, and that's about it, And I've looked in a couple of magazines to see places that I really have to see while I'm down there. I've never been in the Southern Hemisphere, so I look forward to that as well. But what I want to talk about is that the tour that I'm giving there, the slide presentation that I'll have done this weekend, I'm drawing it all up. I'm working on my script. Really, for the 4 big meetings, the ones in Perth, Adelaide, and Sydney, and Melbourne, those meetings, what they are is those are going to be, it's going to start out with a presentation that I think you'll find and your guests will find interesting. I'm going to talk a lot about anti-aging medicine. I'm going to talk a lot about age reversal. I'm going to talk about kind of where we've come, because you take a look at when they were looking for the fountain of youth, and that's been the proverbial fountain of youth, and they've been looking for that for since the beginning of time, and from there where we are today. And I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about the current trends that we're seeing in the anti-aging industry, and where I think it's going, and what we're going to be seeing as we go, and really the idea behind that part of the talk is it's not going to be a talk where I'm going to be soliciting any kind of a business at all. I want to open people's minds. I want to have them hear what's going on, maybe talk about some of the latest things that I've been reading about. And I go to a lot of seminars, and I read a lot of things. And so I'm going to be sharing that with all of you that come to the presentation, and I'm drawing up slides, and everything will be posted onto YouTube afterwards, so you'll have copies of that. I believe that every one of you should be trying to find someone to join you at the presentation. Bring somebody with you, because what I've always found is that you leave a presentation and you've got questions. You know, sometimes you don't think of questions till you get down the road half an hour and you're going, oh, I forgot to ask this. At least that's what I find. And so by doing that, by coming there with a guest, you'll have somebody that you can discuss those things. You can talk about it, because again, I want to have you so that you're interested, that you're learning something, and so that you're going to have things that you're going to want to discuss. And so, I mean, if we talk about, you know, the current trend with nutrition, and we're talking about some of the things that we're already doing with SISEL, with, you know, the age pill, and what we're doing with RIP. But, you know, the people that are coming with you, they haven't heard about that. But I'm not going to mention the products by name during this part of the presentation. Again, I want this to be kind of a non-solicitation type of a presentation. And really then I'm going to end it by offering people a gift that they can get a free consultation with me. They can get a free membership, which we're offering through SISEL, and that'll really be their gift. And maybe, you know, we can figure out some way of adding some extra bennies to that as well. And that's some things that I want to talk to y'all about tonight, is that, you know, think about that. What kinds of things can you offer? You know, you get paid 25% if you bring in a new customer or a new distributor. And so maybe you can tell your new customer or distributor when they're at the presentation, hey, you know, if you join this week, right, you know, before the end of February, if you tell them that you're gonna give them part of your hang on, you're gonna give them part of your compensation, maybe offer them a 10% discount on any products that they order. That might be kind of nice as well. Just little things like that that you can think of, that you can do to help people kind of get started. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow that up with another presentation, which is, it'll be a typical SISEL opportunity meeting. I'll go through the products and not really in detail. I won't go through all the scientific stuff behind them, but again, you know, tying it in with the whole talk on anti-aging medicine is really the thing that I want to do. The whole age reversal, I want to tie it in with that, and then from there, then what we're going to talk about is I'm going to have another presentation on the comp plan. And what I'm going to talk about with the comp plan is I'm going to talk about how we can take with the Wealth Builder plan, and really with the Wealth Builder plan, build to 5 or 6 star. And the Wealth Builder plan is something that's new. I know a lot of people are confused by it. And so when I get done with you all down there, when I leave the end of February, my goal is that you will understand how to build with the Wealth Builder plan. And if you can build with the Wealth Builder plan, I'll tell you what that does. Is that the Wealth Builder plan is a way. And again, when I talk about the Wealth Builder plan, a lot of times what I'll mention is that if you take a look at most compensation plans, you know, by the time you figure out all the little, you know, this and that's and all these different things that they have, the different ways that you can make money, bottom line is when you break it all down, you're getting paid anywhere between, I mean, let's just say 5 to 10%. And that's really about what I've seen with all compensation plans. And so if you're taking a look at the average, which, you know, we kind of sit there with 7%, which is really good. We get paid 7% over 7 levels, and it's a really good plan. And then with the infinity bonus, you can get paid 6% all the way to infinity with that. So it's better than any other compensation plan that I've seen. But still, take a look at it. That's $7 on every $100 of product that moves in your organization. So that's only $70 on $1,000 of product movement. And so, you know, in order to make $700, you'd have to have $10,000 in sales, and that's where it starts to get a little bit more difficult with that. And so if you want to make a replacement kind of income, you still got to have, you know, $50,000 to $60,000 in monthly volume. And I know everybody that's on the call, everybody that's in our organization, you can do it. We can all do it. And I think with the products that we have, I think we can do it here easier than we can with any other compensation plan with any other company, because they're products that people want. I mean, you look at the age pill. I mean, we've sold out. We've been back ordered 3, maybe 4 times already. The factory just can't keep up to the number of people that want the age pill. I had somebody ask me the other day. He said that he works with one of the Native American tribes up here in North America, and he said that he wants to order 500 bottles. And yeah, you know, you start thinking about that. I mean, it's not because he's got a lot of money to spend. It's because he knows that the product works. And so you think about a product like that. So we drive volume because of that, and people are staying on board because they like the results of what they're getting with the product. But again, if you're trying to build an organization, just building it on your 7%, for most people, it takes some time to build a replacement income check. And so I talk about the Wealth Builder as kind of, it bridges that gap between, you know, just getting started in network marketing and developing a nice replacement income check that you can have. And you'll hear me hammering on this time and time again, because I really see it, and I want you guys to see it. Because if you go out and you take a look at the products that we have, if everybody knew about what we have, they want these products. And I'm asking, can you find 6 people? But not only can you find 6 people, but can you find 6 people who they themselves would be able to go out and find 6 people? And if you can do that over a period of time, then you can build this Wealth Builder plan. And really, if you go just 4 levels down and you're building 6 who find 6 who find 6, you're going to be taking home that replacement style income in a matter of months. And so that's what I want to teach all of you, how to do that, how to work with that, and how to make that work, so that the compensation plan now, while you're building that, you're also you're building your residual income at the exact same time. But your Wealth Builder plan is going to continue to pay you that kind of money, and I think, like, you know, anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000, depending on how you build your organization. But if you're active and you've brought in 6 people who are also active, that kind of, you know, money right away, and then you'll build your residual income, you know, the 7% over 7 levels. You'll build that while you're taking in the Wealth Builder. And really, the way I've got it drawn out, when you see how I've got it drawn out, you really, the only month that ever costs you anything, the only money that ever comes out of your pocket is month 1. When you write that initial check, that $300 some check that it takes to buy the initial Wealth Builder pack. But then after that, then you don't have to dig in your pocket ever again, because the wealth builder is going to continue to pay you, which will cover all of your expenses to stay in the SISEL organization and to keep working. So that's really what I'm going to talk about. So I'll break it up into 3 different presentations. The first presentation, the one on the age reversal, I'm going to keep that talk somewhere around the 40 to 45 minutes. So I have some questions at the end, so I can have some discussion and just a little bit extra time in case, things happen to take a little bit longer. I always plan on that there's going to be, a monkey wrench in there somehow. Maybe the audio visual equipment doesn't work or whatever, and I don't want people, thinking that the meeting's going to show up at, start at, 7 and it doesn't start till 7:30. So again, that's why I'm talking about having just a 45 minute long presentation. We'll probably take a 10 to 15 minute break, maybe a little longer depending on things, but then we'll come back and we'll do the SISEL opportunity meeting. And the SISEL opportunity meeting, I really think that since I've covered the anti-aging and a lot of the science, I can do the opportunity meeting in another half hour. Then we'll take another break, and those people who want to be customers, those people who don't want to learn how to run the compensation plan, maybe your guests, they can leave at that time. And then the people who want to learn how to run the compensation plan, then we'll have that third presentation. And really, I can go through the compensation plan now in a half hour, and so I can do that. And so if you want to kind of plan your schedule for the evening, that's really what I got going on now. We've got a number of meetings scheduled. I know I've been working with Carol, and I've been working with Sandy and Trevor, and with Margaret, and with Katie and everybody, and we've been putting together a bunch of smaller meetings as well for the team, and these are just for team. The 4 big ones are open to everybody in SISEL. It's going to be $10, I believe, to come to the presentation. It'll cover the expense of renting the presentation hall wherever we're having the meeting, which I think is a good way of doing it, because there's no reason that any one person should have to spend money out of their pocket to put the presentation on. So that's why we have the $10 to help cover that. And then the smaller meetings that we'll be doing, home meetings or small restaurants, things like that, I believe that all of them will just be the cost if if we're meeting at a restaurant, buy something to eat or drink, that'll be on your own. And at those meetings, then what we're going to do is we're going to work on some strategy and kind of planning through the year. If somebody tells me, hey, Kurt, this is what I need to get done this year, I'll show people how to do that, and just really, I want to teach people how to describe the products in a way that it makes sense. So many times I hear people describing the products, and by the time they get done describing them, even though I know the products, I'm totally confused by the way that they described them. And so there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And really what I try and tell people, I know I was telling somebody just today earlier, that you always have to remember that facts tell and stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell. And so when you're talking about a product, don't spend all your time talking about science behind it. And what I would try and tell people is that if you're talking about the science behind the product, you want to be, talking and pointing. And what you're pointing at is you're pointing at one of the tools. I learned that from a multi-million-dollar network marketer earner, and he said that you want to always be pointing at a tool. And in this case, in what we have, the tools that we have are the videos, the online videos. You can go to SISEL World Team channel on YouTube. That's where I post all of our videos when we get done with this call tonight. It'll take me probably a couple hours to get everything processed, and I'll place this call on that YouTube channel. And I've got videos on the age pill, previous recordings that we've done, recordings that Tom's done, recordings from Harvard and different medical colleges. And I'm gonna keep adding more and more science onto there, so that you have a list of things that you can use, and then you can take and find your favorites in there. And then we've got information on the RIP product, and Thomas the third, he's gonna jump on one of our calls on a Tuesday, and he's gonna talk a little bit more in depth on the RIP product, and so we'll have that information. And then I'm going back into the archives, the SISEL International archives, and I'm taking those videos and I'm placing them on this SISEL World channel on YouTube. And the nice thing about that is everybody can use them. It's not a channel where we're going to be, I guess, what I'm going to call soliciting from. It's just going to be a channel. It's going to have all the information that we need. I'm going to place the training videos over there. If you go, I've got my going 5-star with the Wealth Builder plan there. It's just a quick overview. I don't get into it in detail, but if you click on each slide, you can see in detail how I'm making it work. How exactly do you go from getting started, from joining as a wealth builder to building to 5-star in your organization, and I cover it really. How do you do it in 3 months, in 90 days? And so you can see that there, and you can stop each slide by just hitting the pause button on your computer. So there's some training with that, and you can build your team using that. And you know, not everybody's going to want to come in as a wealth builder. And what I try and tell people is that when I'm prospecting new people, I tend to ask questions that's gonna let me know what they want. I mean, if somebody tells me, oh man, you know, my husband has cancer, and that's what I'm concerned with, I'm not going to try and pound them into being a wealth builder, because it really just isn't the right time. And that's what you have to think about is think about the whole timing of things. It might not be the right time for them. You want to talk about what's important to them. What do they have going on in their life right now? Maybe they just don't have the belief in network marketing. And so while you're talking about the compensation plan, ask the right questions and just see. And if they don't have the belief in the network marketing, for gosh sakes, don't sign them up. Don't try and talk them into being a wealth builder. Just say, well, why don't you come in as a distributor right now? Why don't we get you on the age pill? And really, you know, for all of you that are on the call, the reason that I say that is because for the most part, I'm finding that you know, it's over 3/4 of people, probably closer to 80% of people within that first month, they're noticing a change in how they feel when they take the age pill. And so that's a great way of getting people started. You can say, well, let's just start by having you grab the age pill. Are you over the age of 40? And if they say yeah, then you say, well, the recommendations is that you should start out by taking a double dose for the first 60 to 90 days, and let's get you doing that. But at the same time, while we're doing that, since you did express that you're interested in building the business, what I'm going to do is over that 60 to 90 days, while you're getting your results over there, I'm going to show you how you can take and you can build your business in a way that you can build a replacement income in 90 days. So you see what you've done is you haven't pushed them away by trying to slam the wealth builder down their throat, but at the same time, you've kind of put that tickle in their ear. You've talked about it a little bit, and you know, and then what I'll say to people is I might say, hey Kurt, don't let me leave the lunch here without explaining to you how you can get your products for free, right? And don't let me forget to do that. And so the whole idea is then you want to get them to ask you, because if they're asking you a question, guess what? You've got their ear. You've got them listening intently. And so those are the things that you want to try and do as you build this. I like using landing pages. I'm working with my friend Andrea right now, and we're building a landing page for the entire SISEL World team. One that it doesn't say, you know, call me, you know, call Kurt. It doesn't say call, you know, Bob or Harry or anybody else. It's just a landing page that will have the pertinent information, the information that we as a team find that converts somebody from being a newbie to being a distributor or a customer. So I'm putting together a sort of a website that we can all use for that, just for our entire team. And just when you get down to the bottom of it, it really just says get back to the person that brought you here. And what I like is having a landing page that's pretty simple, you know, ABC 1, 2, 3 type of thing. You know, they push the first button, and it's maybe a 3-minute recording that just kind of an overview, and it's like a 30-second radio commercial. Can I grab their attention in 30 seconds? I mean, really, can I grab their attention in 8 seconds? Because if you don't have somebody in the first 8 seconds, the other 21 seconds isn't going to make a difference. So I'm going to grab them in the first 8 seconds, and then have them listen to the you know, the presentation, just a 3-minute audio or video. And then if they like what they hear, then click on the next button. If that makes sense on the next button, then click here, click on the next button. And so kind of an ABC 1, 2, 3 type of a step-by-step process is what I'm really putting together, so that when they get done, if they've pushed button C, then you know that they really are interested in joining you. So then it'll be just as simple as you calling those people back and saying, hey, Bob, how far did you get? And he said, I listened to the third one. You know, then you know that you got them. You've got them hooked. They've got the hook in their mouth. And now what you want to do is you want to say, well, where do you see yourself? You know, where do you see yourself with this business? And if they say, well, I want to take the product, again, you know, now you know that you want to get them started either as a customer or as a distributor, not necessarily as a wealth builder. You know, if they say, I see myself really being able to go out and share this, then you might want to talk to them about a wealth builder right away. But you see how you can kind of ask the right questions. I tend not to ask yes or no questions. I don't call somebody up and say, hey, Bob, did you watch that video? Right? People will pick the answer that they think you want to hear when you ask a yes or no question, rather than giving you the real answer. And so I tend not to ask those questions, you know, like I might ask, you know, like if somebody's dog is pooping in the neighbor's yard, I might ask a question of, you know, how do you like how that dog poops in your yard? You notice how I didn't ask, do you like if that dog poops in your yard? I asked, how do you like that? And, you know, they might come back and say, well, I'm glad it's just a small dog, right? But you ask the right questions, and in my clinic, I used to ask people, you know, what's better today? What's better today, right? And so you're in control of the questions by asking the right questions. So again, as you're building your business, think about those types of things, and gradually I'm going to try and help you by having the right kinds of things that you can use on social media, and how to build a website, all those different things that we can do to make things work. So it's easier for all of us. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to unmute Katie, and so that she can talk a little bit about what we have going down in Australia, and we'll kind of end the call with that. So Katie, you're unmuted.
Hi Kurt, can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. All right, thanks for that. So I'm just going to run through what's happening in Australia for the tour. So as Kurt mentioned, we've got 3 events that are open to everyone in Australia. So Kurt's coming first into Melbourne. I'm just trying to open them up as we're speaking. I've just got them here. So he's arriving in Melbourne to begin with, and then, sorry, just excuse me for a second. And so we'll be having an open event on the Sunday, which is for everyone. I've just sent an email to corporate this morning to let them know about it, and we're hoping to get some products donated so we can have a raffle and some other things, and we'll get some banners done and that sort of stuff. I'll get those done. So that'll be on the Sunday. That's an open event at the Matthew Flinders. But we have some team-only events for Kurt's team in Melbourne, and so there'll be a Friday night event in Hastings, and all the details are on the URL docfizteamonlyevents.live, which Kurt's sent out previously, and I'm sure he'll send it out again. So all the details are there if you'd like to attend the Friday night if you're in Melbourne. Then Saturday night will be in Hyatt at a residence, and that'll be more of a kind of casual thing, barbecue. Kurt will do a bit of a presentation. And then the Sunday, as mentioned, is a larger event, and so that's open to everyone. Then on Monday, he's flying into Adelaide, and he will be going to a suburb. If I've got the pronunciation wrong, excuse me, Belhana. And so there's an RSVP to Christine there if you'd like to attend. She set some times up. I do believe that'll be an evening event. I just need to clarify with her. That's on the Monday. And then Tuesday night is a big event in Adelaide. So Dennis has assisted with that. That's a 7 p.m. event, and the details are, Kurt's already sent the details around. So if you want to attend that event in Adelaide, invite as many people as you can. Again, that's an open event, and that'll be promoted hopefully right across the whole of SISEL. And so then after he's done in Adelaide, he'll be flying across to Perth. And he's got some, we don't have an open event there at the moment. It's his team. And so there's quite a few events happening. There's a event at 7 o'clock, which is, I'm just reading the details here, 7 o'clock. So that is on the Wednesday. And then 2:30 lunch on the Thursday. They've got a wealth building session on the Thursday night in Perth, and then a lunch on the Friday. So they're all closed events for his team. So it's really important that you share that with anyone in SISEL in your team so you can invite them along to attend. And they're different hosts in each place throughout. Kurt's team has been assisting with putting this together. And then he'll be arriving on the Sunshine Coast on the Saturday. So he'll be having a meet and greet on the Saturday at 7:30, and then Sunday afternoon there'll be 2 afternoon sessions. Monday he'll be in Brisbane at a lunch session. Tuesday we'll be back at the Sunshine Coast for a morning session, and then Wednesday we'll be on the Gold Coast. So that's what's happening there. And then he'll be flying into Sydney on the Thursday, which is the 15th of February. And that is an open event, so that's in the suburb of Burwood. So we're promoting that, and that's open to everyone. And again, Kurt's already explained the format. And then the Friday will be a dinner, and he'll be leaving. He's got Saturday in Sydney. He's flying out late afternoon to catch his early morning flight on the Sunday to leave. So quite a few people ask, would he be coming to Canberra, and could he pop up to Cairns and all of that? And it's just with these time schedule, with his time frame, it's not possible to visit that many places. So I guess next time when Kurt comes next year will be a lot different. There'll be a lot more people on board. Kurt will probably spend quite a bit more time here, and there'll be a lot more events happening. So this is a really good kickoff, and we really hope we have some great news at the same time as all of these events are running. So yeah, and just as Kurt mentioned, it's a really great idea to bring people to the anti-aging events, especially if they've never heard about SISEL, or if they're not even into network marketing or health products at all, just to come along to that event and hear about science in that field of age reversal would just open somebody's mind and can be the first step in getting them thinking about something they should perhaps be considering for their own well-being and for the future of themselves, family, and as Kurt mentioned, even your pets. We're getting some great testimonials with the age pill and people's dogs and cats. So that's all I've got there. Kurt will send around the details again, so take the time to review them. There's been a couple of updates to times and locations, and that's where we're at.
Well, thanks, Katie. I sure appreciate it. And again, thanks to everybody down there in Australia for helping put this together and making sure that I get to my plane on time and making sure that I don't miss a flight. So I really, really, really just want to thank you before I even get there on that. and just coordinating everything, because otherwise it wouldn't be happening. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to meeting every single one of you. When I get back to the States, I know I'll probably take a week just to catch up in my sleep, and then after that, I plan on hitting the road again. And here in the States, you know, everybody probably already realizes that I don't fly very much. I usually drive, and I put a lot of miles on my vehicle, and driving season is coming. So come March, I'm planning on doing some tours, and so start thinking about where can we gather and get people together and do presentations here in the United States, and let's put together the same type of thing here in the States, and so where I can go from, you know, here to Chicago and Michigan, I can go from here and go visit my son in New Orleans, and I can do meetings all the way along the route. I can go from here and travel to, you know, to Salt Lake City, so I'll be traveling through Wyoming and Denver and places like that. I can go from here and travel through North Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Washington, Idaho, and go visit my other boy out there. And so I can make the spokes of the wheel, I kind of call it, and just really help people develop teams along the way. So if you've got some ideas on where we can do this, have some presentations, feel free to get in touch with me, and let's put some things together. Let's make this work. And this is our year. I mean, with everything that's going on with SISEL, we've got the right products, we've got the right compensation plan. I'm excited to see where things are going to be in the next year. So I really appreciate everybody being on the call. Thanks for taking the time, and I know I ran over a few minutes here. I'll get this all posted up on YouTube, and I'll get the recording sent out to everybody. But just always remember, our team calls will always be posted on the SISEL World Team channel on YouTube, so you can always access them there. Katie, thanks for jumping on. I know you weren't, I didn't tell you you were going to be on, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Kurt.
Bye.